Whatever differences you and Carly have can be worked out. I mean, Jocelyn, she was very sick. She's been in the hospital for weeks. She needs to go home to familiar surroundings with her mother.
I know that would be very nice. But the reason Jocelyn isn't safe with Carly is because of people like you. And for God's sakes, Jason, you gave up your son for that very reason.
You know, I don't use Jake's death to justify taking Jocelyn away.
Okay, regardless of how Jake died, you made the choice to keep him out of your life because you know how dangerous it is for children to be around you.
Okay, Carla's not in the business.
Well, she may as well be. And you and Sonny are a constant presence in her life. And her kids have already suffered because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I'm not going to let that happen to Jocelyn.
If I learned anything by losing Jake, you can't live your life by hypotheticals. And you know what? The fact is, no matter how you feel about the people around Carly, she's still Jocelyn's mother. You chose to have a baby with her. You can't take Jocelyn away because you don't like Carly's friends.
It must be nice to have a short memory. I remember how upset you were when Michael got shot. How you blamed yourself that his injury was a direct result of your criminality.
No one has plans to expose Jocelyn to any kind of danger.
What were your plans for Michael when he was Jocelyn's age? I bet they didn't include any of the things that he's been through. I mean, to this day, you've tried to stop him from making the bad choices that you made. And good luck with that. Because Michael following in Sonny's footsteps is yet another tragedy.
Don't make Michael your excuse.
My point is that your pleas on Carly's behalf don't carry a lot of weight with me because of the choices that you've already made for Jake and for Michael. Something tells me that somewhere there inside you know that I'm right.
Maybe. But your solution is not going to work. And you know Carly wouldn't go for that. Neither can I.
Hey.
Hey.
I didn't expect to see you here. Are you doing homework right now?
Yeah. Don't sound so surprised.
No, I know that you're in high school. I guess it's just weird, like, knowing everything that you're going through to see you doing math, like...
Like a kid who hasn't been to prison and girlfriend's not a murder suspect.
How are things going with Abby? How are things with proving her innocence?
Still in progress. Dante is supposed to be helping out, but he's with my dad, looking for Brenda's son right now.
Well, hopefully that'll be done soon because Spinelli called and said that they have a lead, so...
That's great.
Well, I feel like I'm probing, but I know that... Does it seem like Dante's not paying enough attention to Abby's situation because he's just prioritizing?
But you don't have to explain.
No, I just want you to understand this is very important to him, and he will prove Abby's innocence. He will.
You sound like me, how I make excuses.
I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm not. I mean, that was not my intention.
Oh, you just want to smooth things over, keep a big fight from breaking out?
Yeah.
No, that's how I am, too. I mean, you'd think with my parents that all the fighting wouldn't really bother me, that I'd just jump in and start yelling too, but I'm usually the one who's always trying to make everything okay. Like...
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yes, lately I definitely, I feel like I'm trying to make everything okay, and I haven't been very successful at it because the Spencers are imploding, so I'm probably overcompensating by trying to make everything okay with you and Dante.
I appreciate the effort, Lulu, but it's not gonna work.
You're really that mad at him?
I'm just saying you can't really fix other people's problems. And all you can do is love them and support them, but they gotta figure out their own garbage for themselves.
Did Dante tell you to talk to me?
No, why?
Wow, well, he's been telling me the exact same thing.
Well, I need to make this official.
It still amazes me when it comes to you and Sonny. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm still newly astonished every time she chooses to ignore the danger that you present to her kids. So I think it's time I do what's best for my daughter.
Where was this moral outrage when you got married, when you decided to have a
Save
kid?
your breath, Jason, because Carly's argued this point 100 times already. That I accepted you and Sonny, that you were part of the danger package, and I'm only now going after her because she left me, and that's not true. I married Carly because I loved her. too much to let you and Sonny be the deal breaker. Because fool that I am, I actually thought that she would make the right choice when it came to choosing between you and Sonny and the safety of our daughter. But obviously that's not true.
That's nice. But it's years too late to suddenly decide that Carly's a threat to her daughter.
You're the danger, Jason. It's people like you. I mean, the fact that you were even in my daughter's hospital room with your gun, that only proves my point.
Before I met Jason...
You know, I was at Elizabeth's when Dante went over to tell her that my dad was the one who hit Jake, and the first thought that went through my head was that he had me wrong. And the second thought was how hard it was going to be for Lucky and my dad, and how I had to find a way to make everything okay.
Yeah, my mom was on the suspect list. I actually thought she did it. And my mind went to the exact same place. How do I help?
Well, if your mom had done it, she would have handled it better than my dad. And she was driving to the hospital, so no one would have questioned why it happened.
Your dad was drinking, right?
Yeah, he has a problem, so we had to have the intervention. Your parents were there. They didn't tell you?
I guess they thought it was a private thing. I don't know.
Well, my dad's drinking's out of control. And, he hates himself. That's what I see when I look at him.
I'm sorry.
You know, when you said that you can love and support someone, but you have to let them fix their own garbage.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the limits of the love and support? I mean, when do you decide to just cut someone off that you love and watch them drown? Would you be able to do that if it was your mom or your dad?
Honestly, probably not.
Before you decide to go after Carly as an unfit mother, why don't we take a look at your family? Your brother Jerry, he's not a psycho, is he? Every time he needs help, who does he go to? He goes to you. He was terrorizing Carly in your own living room.
I did nothing to help Jerry.
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's always look questionable. That's all it has to do in court. You know, why does it even have to be like this? You and Carly know how to communicate, find something you can agree on.
You know, I really wish that we could. But I think it's going to come down to the court's decision. Look, Jason, Jocelyn's being released today, and I'm taking her home.
No, you're not.
Do I need to call security?
You two need to take a step back.
Possibly be okay with Jax taking Jocelyn away from her mother.
You know I'm representing him. I can't have this
Yeah, but there's nothing fair about insisting Jocelyn live in a hotel room instead of at home.
It's not your call. All right, let's let the legal system sort this out. In the meantime, there's a beautiful little girl in there that deserves some sunshine and a walk in the
Carly's
park.
gonna be back
Carly's
soon.
not here, okay? She thought it was more important to run off with Sonny than pick up her daughter. So why should Jocelyn suffer from
This
that?
conversation is ridiculous, all right? You have no standing here. Jocelyn's been released. Her mother's not here. Her father is. Will you please step aside and let him take her to the park?
Thank you. Hey, my little princess. Oh, how's Daddy's little girl?
She's great.
Good. You get to go home today. Yeah. I got the hotel room all ready for you. Come on. Let's go. Thank you.
I'll get the door for you.
Thanks. All righty.
You don't have to...
Hey,
Hey.
I'm happy to get your call. I missed you.
I miss you too. Yeah, it was crazy. Just that this case is taking a bunch of turns.
I know. You leave looking for one kid, you come back with another. How's Brenda?
I don't actually know. Sonny and Carly brought Alec back on the plane, and I brought Suzanne in.
So how was it with Sonny?
Yeah, it's good.
Well, like better than normal, or pretty much the same
Truthfully, it's kind of scary.
Why?
I don't know, because I stopped thinking of him as a criminal and started thinking of him as my father.
Well, the new nursery is a hit.
No kidding.
She played really hard and then she fell asleep.
Well, Mercedes setting up in the adjoining room.
Yeah, that's good. All is right in my world, you know. I didn't think that was going to be the case again. Thought we were going to lose Jocelyn. Or that we would have to go to the hospital and do chemo without knowing the outcome. But now she's good. She's home with me.
You've had a horrific scare. There's nothing worse than when one of your kids is in jeopardy. That's for sure. You know, Carly went through this with you. And there's no reason for me to believe that she loves Jocelyn any less than you do.
Are you representing Carly now? Because I was under the assumption that you were my lawyer.
I'm just asking if it's really necessary to take sides here. Isn't it possible for you two to come up with a compromise? You both love your daughter, you want what's best for her, that's what's critical here. And if you're throwing a hissy fit because you're pissed that she ran off with Sonny, then my advice to you as your friend and your attorney is simple. Stop it.
Nurse! Nurse!
Hey,
Where the hell's Jocelyn?
Jax took her to the hotel.
Okay.
Wait, Carly, wait.
I'm not waiting, okay? Jax took my daughter, and I'm gonna
I'm
bring
just
her
saying that
home.
I'm with you on this. You gotta fight Jax his way if you want to win. I spoke to Diane. She's gonna petition for an order of shared custody.
All I want is shared custody, but it's her first night home from the hospital. She needs to be with me.
I understand that. I'm just saying. Do not get in his face. Do not yell and scream. Don't give him one more thing
I
to
don't
use
give a
against
damn
you.
about legal strategy here. My daughter just had an operation. She needs to be with her mother. I'm gonna get her.
Carly, Carly,
I just made myself forget about all the good things about Sonny when I was working undercover.
The good old days when I thought you were an irritating up-and-coming mobster with an endless supply of pickup lines.
I'm still pretty irritating, but
You are.
I think you really secretly liked them because it gave you a reason to come and see me, so
Yes.
I'd use them on you.
Yes, that's true. But things were a lot less complicated for you back then.
But you know what? This trip, this common goal, reminded me what I like about Sonny. But liking Sonny doesn't change the bottom line that he's still dangerous.
And let's try to build a castle. Okay? Well, we'll try our best anyway. The couch. How about the blue one? Hey.
May I see my daughter?